Sometimes when I'm talking with people that I've just met, they've said to me, well, you've lived in Spain. Is it possible to live there for under $1,000 a month? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sally Peterson. I am the founder of a boutique consulting company called Global Citizen Life, where we help people diversify their entire lives by having offshore corporations, offshore banking, helping reduce their taxes down to zero or single digits, helping them diversify everything so they're not under the single control of any one government so they can live their best life. So to answer the question, can you live in Spain for under $1,000 a month? The simple answer is yes. However, there's always some exceptions. You're definitely not going to be living in any of the major cities or the touristy hotspots as Barcelona, Madrid, Marbella. Those places are expensive. The housing is very expensive in those areas, so you're not going to be living there for under $1,000 a month. If you want to look more at the Alicante region in the southern eastern part of the country along the coast, there's beautiful places and areas. You get lots of sunshine, you have beautiful beaches, you get fresh seafood. I mean, there's so much that area has to offer. Another region, if you don't necessarily want to be by the sea or need to be by the sea, would be Sevilla. Sevilla has, I think it's roughly 700,000 inhabitants. It's about the fourth largest city in Spain. So it has everything every other major city would have for you to do. Definitely many day trips that you can go to from there. It definitely is a beautiful area. Also, there's Granada. Again, another beautiful area. I mean, Spain's got so many beautiful areas. What can I say? It's about 250 kilometers away from Sevilla. So beautiful place to visit. Cost of living is definitely going to be less than Madrid and Barcelona. So it's still great that you have all those things that you could need, many things to do. With Granada and Sevilla, you are further away from the beaches. So just take that into consideration if you want that beach life or not. But definitely great areas to live. One thing that you really need to keep in mind, if you're just going to visit, that Spain is part of the Schengen group of countries. So most times you were allowed 90 out of every 180 days in the Schengen area. So if you want to be traveling to Europe, you can go 90 days, but you can't spend 90 days in Spain and then go to Italy, for example, for 90 days or for a month. Because then you'd be over. So it's within the Schengen group. So if you're going to be spending more than 90 days within most of Europe, because most of them is part of the Schengen, then you definitely need to be getting a visa. And you can get a temporary visa if you wanna live there. There's various visas, but one that's quite common and popular with a lot of people is one where you prove you make it's roughly 2,000 or 2,200 US dollars. Of course, it's going to vary because of exchange rate to euros and things like that. But say just over $2,000, you can prove that you're making that monthly income. You can get a temporary visa. Of course, that visa needs to be renewed, but as long as you're continuing to make that, you can stay in Spain as long as you want. You can visit all the countries around as much as you want. Well, maybe not as much as you want because you have to be living in Spain, but I mean that kind of coming and going. You can do that. You don't have to worry about the 90-day rule. After 5 years, you can then apply for permanent residency, which gives you definitely a little bit more flexibility. And then for some, if they want, and after 5 years from that, they can apply for citizenship. One thing about citizenship in Spain, depending upon where you come from, what country you come from, most of the time Spain requires you to renounce your old citizenship. So for example, if you're from the United States, you want to get citizenship in Spain, Spain will say, well, you need to renounce your US citizenship. Now, where it does become a little bit gray is because the United States is making it quite difficult for people to renounce their citizenship. mostly because they still want tax money. But so if you say, yes, I'll renounce my citizenship, you go through the process, it doesn't mean that the United States will allow you to renounce your citizenship. Just because you have citizenship somewhere else, sometimes it's not good enough reason for them to say, no, we're not accepting that, we're not renouncing it. So it can become challenging and difficult, and you really want to consider, do you really want citizenship there? I mean, if you can have permanent residency and you're renewing it every 5 years, might be an option. Or if you want citizenship, you might look at one of the other European countries for citizenship and not Spain. But if you specifically want to live in Spain, you can definitely go the temporary residency route into permanent residency, and then you really have to decide what you want for citizenship. Tax implications with that as well. Spain's not the cheapest country in Europe for tax purposes either. So I know this brings up probably some more questions, so if you want and you need our help, we definitely have a holistic approach to diversifying, helping our clients diversify their life in total to finding out what's best for them. So if you want, you can get a hold of us at our website, globalcitizenlife.org, and we can help you put together a plan that is ideal for you, so you're never under the control of one single government, and therefore you can live your best life.